Now, if I may ask Mr. Bangkit, what is the relationship, if any, now of NABCOR and ZIREC, given that it's a subsidiary of NABCOR? What regulatory or supervisory functions do you have over ZIREC?
Since I assumed the office 2011, Mr. Chair, we haven't had any of the reportings and all that because wala pa po eh. Hindi ko po alam.
ASEC Salacop, given that during your time it was still a subsidiary of NABCOR.
Sir, we were working independently. We had no ties with NABCOR. We operated rubber plantation
Separately?
Yes.
You said Relampagos, sir. I saw your menu. ZIREC and NABCOR were not one of the agencies listed, although DA was listed. Is it legal on the part of DBM, from DBM's point of view, is it legal to download funds to NABCOR and ZIREC given that it's not in the menu?
You're correct, Your Honor, that the only DA appears in the implementing agencies. Now, whether national government can engage government corporations, I don't see any legal impediments for government corporations to be engaged in government projects.
But you specifically mentioned an GOCC there, NLDC, and yet you failed to mention NABCOR or ZIREC as one of the implementing offices or agencies for livelihood.
Yes, Your Honor, in the preparation of this menu, there was no representation that this ZIREC and NABCOR can be direct implementers. And our policy is that it should be, as much as possible, the national government, LGU, GOCC with all due respect.
So from your point of view, who is responsible for the funds? The agency to which you released the money to, in this case, DA?
Yes, Your Honor, the implementation of the budget by the recipient agency is accountability.
So from your point of view, it's DA and not NABCOR or ZIREC?
To note the working relationships between the department and the GOCCs and the subsidiaries, Your Honor. It's an internal, I am aware of any internal guidelines that they have to operate on in this respect.
To Mr. Hagaliana, sir, good morning po. I sympathize with you. If you do not recall, the best evidence would still be the documents. Kindly present it to us in the next hearing. But may I ask one curious question? Sino ho ba si Ms. Napoles para i-brief nyo tungkol sa NABCOR? As far as I know, her name does not appear in any of the NGOs. She is not part of any of the NGOs that had dealings with your office. Why go out of your way and brief her about NABCOR twice over? What's so special about her?
We are looking for investors, and it's not only Napoles that I met. Madami pa investor, prospect investors might invest in NABCOR.
Investors meaning bibili ng shares of stock ng NABCOR?
No, sir. A joint venture with our projects, facilities namin, sir.
Hindi niyo po kilala na magkakilala, hindi niyo po alam na magkakilala si Ginang Napoles at si Louie?
Hindi ho.
Iwalay mo silang nakausap at nakilala?
Yes, sir.
Walk-in ho ba si Miss Napoles o may nagpakilala sa kanya sa inyo?
May napakilala sa akin,
Sino
sir.
po?
Si Boy Harmin.
Boy?
Harmin.
Who is that person?
He's a former employee also of DA.
And the representation was na mag-i-invest daw
Yes, sir.
sa inyo.
Businesswoman that was interested in NABCOR.
In the case of Ben-Hur Louie, what were your talks with him about?
Usually, you just submit documents and deal with our people dealing with it.
Sir, may retained earnings o monies na naiiwan sa inyo pag may in-implement na project ang PDAF ng Congressman, di po ba?
Yes, sir.
Magkano po yun?
3%.
3% of any monies that go to the agency is retained by NABCOR.
Yes, sir. Yes.
On the part of ZIREC, is ASEC Salacop,
Similarly, sir, 3%.
3%, and this money is used for?
Well, we transferred because there's a new management. But the visioning then before was to help support the rubber operations in Tampilisang, Zamboanga City.
No, sir. Naglagay ng pondo sa inyo, you retain 3%.
Yes.
Supposedly, in theory, to supervise the project, right? Because what's the justification in getting a share?
Yes, sir. Part of the validation and administrative roles would be lifted from that.
But sir, if I may direct my questions at you, under COA and GPPB rules, there are only two modes of awarding a project to an NGO. One is by public bidding, two is by negotiated procurement. According to Mr. Avellana, mere legislator's endorsement already prompted you to award the contract to a particular NGO. In your case, sir,
Sir, we were not procuring anything. We were partnering with the non-governmental organization.
sir, are you familiar with the GPPP circular on this and the COA circular on this?
Not really, sir.
In that case, how can you follow it if you're not familiar with it? Sir, the GPPP circular states, number one, you can do a project with an NGO either by bidding it out among a lot of NGOs or by negotiated procurement. But if it's a negotiated procurement, there are a lot of requirements on top of your mayor's permit, your SEC registration, your BAR financial statement. There are about 12 other items that you should have required in accordance with GPPP circular. Did you require those documents, sir? It begs the question because if you don't know about it, how can you require it?
Well, as I said, the only set of validation requirements were the SEC, BIR, LGU permits, work or project experience, and the certified financial statement.
Says who, sir? Who told you that those are the only requirements?
It was just a policy that it was inherited by ZREC.
Forgive me, sir, but I cannot accept that officials would feign ignorance of an existing as early as June 2007. In fact, I'm particularly raising this because if it's a negotiated procurement, the NGO is required to come up with a performance security or bond equivalent to the amount of the project. Para in case tumakbo, mawala, tulad ng binabanggit niyo, nawala na yung NGO, hindi na malaman kung nasaan, wala tayong habol. Again, in clear violation of existing laws and regulations, you simply awarded it to these NGOs. Now, if you're partnering with them, who introduced them to you? The legislator?
Yes, sir, in the communications.
And based on that endorsement, hook, line, and sinker, pasok, implement, go na. Ganun lang po yan?
As I said, as we qualify them, then we enter into the memorandum of agreement.
Mr. Avellana, in your case, same answer. No performance bond, no other requirements. As long as the legislator endorsed it, you give it to them?
Yes, sir. Very much.
Again, under COA rules and GPPB rules, you must release only 15% initially and subsequent tranches, as mentioned by ASEC Lacop, should be released upon liquidation. May I ask, ASEC Lacop, niliquidate po ba yung mga naunang nirelease, sabi nyo by tranche, bago nyo nirelease yung mga sumunod na releases
Apo.
dun sa NGO?
Apo.
In what form did the liquidation come? Certification?
Sir, with the official receipts and there is also a liquidation report and of course the certification of the public accountant.
And then you release the second tranche?
Yes.
According to COA, these liquidation reports are either manufactured based on receipts that do not belong to them or that are not owned by them, emanating from suppliers that do not exist or cannot be found. No such findings on your part. You just took the liquidation of the certified public accountant again, hook, line, and sinker. Same answer, Mr. Avellana, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I may ask Mr. Bangkit and Mr. Umali, sir, during your watch, may dumaan bang PDAF sa inyo para sa mga NGOs din? Mr. Bangkit?
Since we assumed the officer, there was indicated in the minutes of the meeting, the first board meeting, that we are no longer to entertain any PDAF to any legislator, Your Honor.
When did you sit, sir? When did your term begin?
2011 for president, for being a president, but we started last part of 2010 being a board member.
At wala kayong PDAF na hawak ng mga panahon yon?
Wala pong pumasok na PDAF from that time on.
Ini-implement na PDAF at that time?
Meron pong natitira na 3 na lang po. Pero from there, hindi na po kami nag-entertain any.
On the part of ZIREC, sir? Sir Mali?
Mr. Chair, I was nominated and appointed as alternate chairman and president of ZIREC on January 19, 2011. During my term as president of ZIREC, there was no priority development assistance fund from legislators that were transferred to ZIREC by the Department of Agriculture. Hence, there were no PDAF releases to any non-government organization. This is in accordance with the instruction of the Secretary of the Department of Agriculture.
Secretary Alcala, sir, any pending or ongoing PDAF allocations to be implemented by NGOs?
What year, sir?
Since you assumed in 2010,
For this to
DA, sir,
at DA, I think meron.
can you give us that list, sir?
Yes, sir.
Just a few more points, Mr. Chairman. May we request the Secretary to kindly communicate with our invited guests in the future exactly what we want and need so that we don't waste the time of the committee with them still reviewing the documents. They very well know what we will be asking of them, if at all, so they can review relevant documents. And one more thing, Mr.
So ordered.
Mr. Chairman, may we ask that Asek Agawin also be invited? She's the, I believe, incumbent treasurer of ZIREC.
So ordered.
Alternate chair and incumbent treasurer, is that correct, sir?
No, Your Honor, she's our treasurer.
Your treasurer. May also invite Asek Agawin. And one last point, Mr. Chair. Again, nasabi na po ito kanina ni Senator Drilon, Senate President Drilon. Ang tanging account natin na yung 82 NGOs na hindi nag-liquidate at may mga pagkukulang sa liquidation na nilagyan ng PDAF ng mga mambabatas, yung nababasa ho natin sa dyaryo. Yung 8 yun, base lamang sa account ng dyaryo at wala pa ho tayong talagang ebidensya o testimonya kung alin-alin ba doon at kung 8 lang talaga doon sa 82, yung kay Napoles. Hence, Mr. Chair, may I suggest that when we ask for documents from these agencies, huwag nating ilimita lang dun sa 8 dahil ang basihan lamang po nun ay newspaper account. We don't even have the affidavit of the whistleblowers identifying exactly which ones are the Napoles NGOs. But that might even be irrelevant because based on the COA report, all 82 NGOs, whether Napoles identified NGO or not, that PDAF allocations were coursed through, did not comply with existing law, had fictitious suppliers, had bogus addresses, and the findings were common to all 82 NGOs. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
We agree with Senator Escudero's observations, and the directives are hereby amended accordingly. Limit yourselves to the 82 NGOs as identified in the COA Special Audit Report. Please make sure that you can, thank you, Senator Escudero. Please make sure that you can comply before Tuesday next week. Kung pwede bukas, mas mabuti. We'd also like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Ralph Recto. Before we go to Senator Bam Aquino, Asik Salakop, I have here a sample memorandum of agreement between ZIREC and the Pangkabuhayan Foundation Incorporated. It's signed by you. It's signed by you, and for the Pangkabuhayan Foundation Incorporated, it's signed by a certain Petronila Balmaceda. Kilala po ninyo ito?
Hindi po.
So lahat ng mga nagpipirma ng mga memorandum of agreement ninyo, hindi humaharap sa inyo? Ganun po ba yun?
Hindi po. As I said, I understand, I checked with some of the staff. There were people who visited the office who just carried the document.
Sino itong people who visited the office?
Sir, I don't know. I'm not aware of who they are. Maybe
Who would
it's
be in a
our-
position?
the
Yung in-identify mo kanina.
Yes, the project coordinator.
In your case, Mr. Javellana, ganun din? Hindi humaharap sa'yo yung mga NGOs?
Sorry. For that particular NGOs that Ben Hor is handling, he's the one carrying the papers.
He's the one carrying.
Yes.
How about the others?
They go to the office and submit the documents for us.
To you?
Yes. No. To the regular channels.
How come all the other NGOs submit their papers to your staff, but the NGOs handled by Ben Lui, you handle them personally?
No, no.
Kakasabi mo lang, humaharap sa'yo, nagpa-follow up sa'yo.
Not through me, through our office.
Humaharap sa'yo. Sabi mo kanina, si Mr. Ben Lui.
Ang sinabi ko kanina, sir, I met him sa office and yung regular transaction is not, I'm not the one handling. Pupunta sa mga staff namin.
You met him. What
Yes,
is the
sir.
circumstances of your meeting with him? Who introduced him to you?
Napakilala doon sa opisina, sir.
Pumasok lang, walang kasama.
Kasama yung endorsement letter from the lawmakers.
Sinong lawmaker?
Usually, kung sino yung...
Sinong lawmaker? You cannot say that you don't remember. You distinctly remember meeting him and now may kasamang dokumento. Naalala mo yung mga detalye, yet yung detalye, sinong legislator? Sabihin mo na, sino?
Sir, madami yung lawmakers involved.
Sino? Kung madami, that's what we're here for. We're here to listen. Kung gusto mo hanggang alas 4, makikinig kami. Sino?
Sir, I think earlier we agreed that you will provide us with the documents and with the list of...
Yes, but I don't find it, I'm very uncomfortable that you remember a lot of details, pati yung kape, yung pinakain, tinanong kita kung anong pinakain sa ni Miss Janet Lim Napoles, sabi mo kape lang. So yung mga detalyeng yan, naalala mo. Pero yung mga pangalan ng legislators, hindi mo maalala. Selective memory yata nangyayari dito.
Hindi naman, sir.
Mr. Javellana,
Yes, sir.
naalala mo may dalang dokumento si Ben Loy endorsing, a legislator endorsing the letter. Sino? Marami nga. Okay, give me one. Para hindi mo na masabing selective.
I mentioned earlier Australia.
Sino pa? You are looking to your left. Why? Why are you looking to your left?
I'm looking for some documents. Can I call on the head of finance, or former finance?
Yes. Sino? Nandito ba?
Yes, sir.
Sino nandito? Ang pangalan niya, please.
Rhoda Mendoza.
Miss Mendoza, are you around? Comsec, please state your name muna, ma'am.
I am Rodora Mendoza, sir.
Rodora,
Mendoza.
member of the Department of Agriculture.
No, I was with National Agribusiness Corporation.
With NAPCOR.
Yes, sir.
Where are you presently employed now?
I am employed with the EBD Philippines.
With the
EBD Philippines.
private.
Yeah.
Okay. Comsec, please administer.
Kindly stand, Ms. Mendoza, and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mendoza. In what capacity were you at NAPCOR?
I used to be the Vice President for Admin and Finance.
Okay. Ma'am, you're under oath.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know Mr. Ben Loy?
Yes, sir.
Do you know Miss Janet Lim Napoles?
I was familiar with her name. Yes, sir.
Familiar with her name, so you've never met her?
I met her once.
Where?
I was invited in the Thanksgiving Mass in Discovery Suites by Ben Horloy.
What was the Thanksgiving Mass all about? Why was it Thanksgiving?
I do not know exactly. It's just a Thanksgiving Mass.
Okay. Okay. What were the circumstances then when you met her?
Oh, Janet.
Yes.
Only during the Thanksgiving Mass.
Sinong nagpakilala sa iyo?
It was Ben Horloy.
Okay. So, sa makatuwid, ma'am, Ms. Mendoza, si Ben Herloy frequented your office sa NABCOR.
Yes.
Okay. Now, he followed up on certain NGOs projects. Am I correct?
Specifically for social development, SD. Yeah.
Ito,
the
nandito.
The social-
SDPFFI.
PFFI.
Okay.
Because he was the president then of that NGO.
Do you recall, ma'am, about anyone else, any other NGO aside from SDPFFI
That
that Mr. Loy,
yeah.
yes, followed up?
There were only 3 NGOs that as you mentioned in the
Yes,
NGOs
alin po ito?
under the JLN,
SDPFFI,
Damasaganing Ani and
MAMFI,
social development and the POPDF or the People's Organization for Progress and Development.
Okay,
something.
thank you. So, Ben Loy frequented your office and pinapalo up po yung mga project nitong mga NGO.
Only for SD.
Yeah, for the 3 that you mentioned.
Only for one.
For one.
Because of the social development, he is the.
Okay. Sige, ma'am. Ngayon, yung mga project na yon, sino po yung mga legislator na nag-endorse doon sa projects na
I
yun?
am very sure of the 3 senators, Revilla, Estrada, and Enrile.
You are, ma'am, let me state it again. You are very sure of the 3 senators, Revilla, Estrada,
And Enrile.
and Rile.
But
So,
for-
sige ma'am, please, go ahead.
But for the congressmen, Australia is one. There are other congressmen who endorse.
Do you remember them, ma'am?
I have the matrix. If
Yes, ma'am, please get your
If-
matrix.
I need an internet. Sorry.
Internet?
Yeah,
Bakit?
because I emailed that before to the.
Okay, could you bring it next time, please?
Surely.
Okay. Ngayon na
Yes,
daw.
sir.
Ang daming biglang nagsabi sa akin, "Hoy, ngayon na. May internet ba tayo?" Okay. May laptop ka ba, Miss Mendoza?
None.
Can somebody please provide a laptop para pwede mag-internet?
Sorry, sir.
Sige ma'am, Miss Mendoza, habang tinitignan mo, take a look at it muna. Once you're ready, tell us. In the meantime, Senator Bam wishes to ask some questions. Senator Bam Aquino, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to ask our former heads of ZREC and NABCOR. No? Nung lumabas po yung balita na may scam, may ghost projects, and these are groups which you were involved with, no, your agency was involved with. Ano po yung naging reaction ninyo? And secondly, do you concur with COA that indeed these NGOs are indeed fake and indeed meron lang nawalang pera dun sa mga agencies ninyo through these organizations? Maybe Mr. Salakop can start.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Well, when news broke out, I don't have the records anymore, so I had to discuss the matter with the current president, Ase Kumali, and we just had the conclusion that, hey, let's review our documents to this.
So you do concur with COA that indeed these are fake NGOs?
Sir, based on the submissions and the liquidations and the testing of the certified public accountant, And as attested to by the legislator, it didn't cross my mind that these NGOs were fake.
Hindi, ngayon po. Kasi this is, you're talking about 2007 to 2009.
Yes.
And I'm taking your word for it that as the liquidations came in, as the paperwork came in, sabi ho ninyo, tingin nyo walang,
Yes.
walang mali, no? Pero si COA, naglabas na po ng special audit, nagkaroon ng news reports. These institutions that you partnered with are actually, in the last week, were presented to be fake, no? Very specific po yung COA report. Hanggang dun sa may sprayer ba o wala, may seeds ba o wala, and mukhang wala talaga, no? So now that the COA report is here, do you agree, do you concur that indeed these NGOs were fake at naloko kayo back in 2007?
Sir, I still rely on what were submitted to us, and as I conferred with the current president, I understand, based on the COA findings, ZIREC at present has to file cases with those NGOs.
So indeed, if you want to file cases against them, then you do concur that indeed, peke nga sila.
Well, if that's the direction of the COA findings, and the current management of ZIREC will have to concur with the directions that COA is leading to.
Okay. So here, no, you are stating that back in 2007, sa tingin mo, walang nangyaring masama, but ngayon, because of the special audit, you're now second-guessing what happened in the past, and now you are concurring with the with ASEC Umali that you should file cases against these NGOs.
I believe so, sir.
Okay. And I ask Mr. Habeliana, kayo po sir, kasi you unlike Mr. Salakop, you met with Ben Herluy, no? Na-meet nyo pa po, and he was a frequent visitor at NABCOR. Nung nalaman ho ninyo na peke nga ang mga NGO na to, ano yung naging reaction ninyo, and do you concur that indeed your office went into deals with these NGOs which now we consider to be fake?
First, sir, I was really shocked and surprised finding all these things in the newspaper na fake yung mga dokumento. But to our best of our ability, we have reviewed all the SEC registration, and we find it nothing wrong with their SEC registration. There is a NGO registered to that name. To the receipts that were given to us, yun, siguro sa naloko rin kami.
Okay, so you agree na naloko nga ang NABCOR?
If it is really fake, then talaga naloko kami.
Okay, so at this point, you do concur na fake nga po yun. Ano ang pakiramdam ninyo that you had met with Ben Herluy, he frequented your office, I'm sure nakipagtsikahan siya sa mga kasama ninyo, and now you find out that he is a whistleblower, that he himself is saying that his institutions are fake. Meron po ba kayong pagsisisi? O meron po ba kayong naiisip na dapat ginawa nyo instead of what transpired?
When we heard about this, sir, I really was shocked and that all of these things, NABCOR and myself are involved in these things. And during that time, sir, we were trying our best, no malice at all, of giving it to them, going into partnership with them.
Okay, Mr. Habeliano, I'm not, hindi ko naman ho sinasabi na guilty kayo. No? This is not the forum for that. No? Pero ngayon, sabi nga ho ninyo, you agree na naloko nga kayo. Tama
sir,
ho, di ba?
Sabi ko kung totoo yun ang sinabi ng COA, in which we have also to validate all these things, yung mga receipts, etc. Palagi ko nalokan. Kung talagang totoo yun, na fake yun.
But my question is, do you concur with COA that these are fake? So, kasi lumabas na to months ago. So I'm sure you had time to look back. Do you concur with COA that these institutions, especially the ones that Ben Herluy, yung nilapit pa niya mismo sa inyong institutions, that they are fake? He himself says that they are fake. So you concur that it is fake, no?
Siguro, it's matter of definition is really is that on our part, meron silang, they are registered with the SEC.
There's no question that they are registered. No? In fact, it's been taken up here already that they have SEC, they have BIR, they have all of the necessary documents. But in terms of the actual work, kahit po si Ben Hurloy, I'm right, di ba? Kahit si Ben Hurloy, inaamin niya na peke nga yung NGO niya mismo. And COA, the chairperson was here last week and they validated the NGOs. And they indeed concur that they are all fake, no? So ngayon ho, I'm asking you, ngayon ho na lumalabas nga na peke, ano ho sa tingin ninyo yung dapat ginawa ninyo para hindi nga nangyari itong scandal na ito? And I'll ask Mr. Asik Doy the same thing, ano? Kung meron ho kayong dapat ginawa, what should it have been to have prevented all of these hundreds of millions of pesos to be lost to corruption?
We could have done better validating all these things and doing due diligence on all these documents.
So you're saying ho na ngayon nga po na lumabas na peke nga ang mga proyektong ito. Unfortunately, your institutions went into deals with fake NGOs, no? And in fact, ghost projects. You're saying po ngayon, if you could turn back time, you would have opted to validate the projects yourself. That NABCOR should have validated the projects themselves.
Yes.
Do you agree, Asik Doy?
Yes, sir. Similarly, more intense and dissecting validation should be done.
Okay. Director Susan, in COA's estimation, because there's been a lot of talk about who should validate, no? And in fact, yung sinasabi ko kasi kanina ni Asik Salaku about validation, that's paper validation, no? You basically check their papers, no? But as we know now, maraming papeles, kahit pa papeles, wala naman talagang ginagawang serbisyo, wala talagang proyekto. In COA's estimation, who should validate the projects that government agencies go into? Is it the legislator who endorsed the project? Is it the implementing agency who is in direct partnership with the NGOs? Is it the mother agency who is in effect the umbrella agency of the smaller agencies? Is it COA, the resident COA of the agencies? Sino po, Alaska, DBM also, no, Yusek Relampagos, the same question. Sino po sa tingin ninyo yung responsable sa pag-validate ng mga proyektong ito?
Depende po yun sa MOA that they have entered into. Kung kasama po yung legislator and then meron siyang function na nakalagay doon, so depende po yun sa kanilang nakalagay. But definitely, ang implementing agency po dapat nagpa-validate.
And in this case, the implementing agencies are the subsidiaries or the mother agency?
Yung subsidiaries po, the one who implemented the project, yun po siguro ang talagang dapat nag-validate, but then siguro yung DA should have monitored.
Yusek Relampagos, DBM? Sino po? Kasi may nagsasabi rin, dapat yung DBM yung nagmo-monitor ng mga proyekto.
Your Honor, I concur with the statement of the representative from COA that the direct implementing agency should be able to do that kind of validation before entering as part of due diligence.
And do you agree, Yusek Relampagos, that paper validation is not enough, especially, well, firstly, when we're talking about hundreds of millions of pesos, and secondly, considering that there is a 3% given to the agency specifically for monitoring?
Yes, Your Honor, because if we go by the guidelines of GPBB and even the COA guidelines, these NGOs should be posting some performance bonds or security bonds. So, as part of due diligence, all of this should be done.
So in short, you're saying that the implementing agencies meron talagang failure in terms of the validation process, number one. Number two, in terms of following the proper procedures already laid out in the law. Is that what you're saying, Yusek?
Perhaps there were oversights, Your Honor.
Okay. May I ask Asik Salakop? I'll be short na lang to, Mr. Chairman. Marami hong perang pumasok sa inyong organization, no, sa ZIREC. From 2007 to 2009, you can just give a ballpark figure. Magkano po yung PDAF na pumasok sa ZIREC? I'll be asking Mr. Javellana the same question.
Sir, ballpark figure around 240 million. 5 legislators.
And of the 240 million, how much is in question right now? Or how much was pointed out by COA to be irregular or illegal?
Sir, based on the COA report, all of that,
100%.
yes. But one of them is only being related to the Napoles group.
Okay. Mr. Javellana, magkano po yung pumasok nung panahon ninyo as president ng NABCOR, NAPIDAF?
Based on the COA report submitted, I think it's 1.2 billion.
1.2 billion.
Yes, sir.
Magkano po dun sa 1.2 billion ang irregular or illegal based on your own reports or based on COA reports?
Well, roughly it's around 400 to 500 million
Out of?
of the 1.2.
Anong porsyento yan? 30%, 33%, no? 400 out of 1.2. Yeah, 33%. So 100% irregular for ZREC and 33% irregular for NABCOR. Okay. Siguro last question, no? So what have we found out? First of all, that there was failure in terms of the agencies, in terms of validation. Secondly, siguro moving forward, for DBM and COA, paper validation is not enough, obviously. Kailangan talagang tingnan yung mga agencies, especially when we're talking about huge amounts of money, and especially that there is a 3% to the agency. Kaya wala pong excuse kasi. May pera ho na binigay sa inyo para mag-monitor. Ano ba naman yung isang staff ninyo pumunta mismo dun sa implementation date, no? That's not going to cost 1 million pesos. That's a few thousand pesos. And if indeed you did do that, edi wala tayong skandalo ngayon, ano? Secondly, what percentage? This was also my question to Chairman Grace last time. She said 80% yung irregular or illegal because we're not just talking about the irregularity here, no? Most of us have actually said that we want to abolish the PDAF. And more, as we go on with the hearings, the numbers show that the majority of the money going to you is going to waste, no? Si Chairman Grace said 80%, ngayon 100%, ngayon 33%. It puts the whole system into question. Maybe as a final question, I'd like to ask our two former heads, no? Ang kasi ho, marami yung nakatingin ho sa atin, no? Especially the ones who are involved. Dalawa lang po kasi nakikita kong pwedeng reaksyon, no? Either kasama ka o naloko ka. Diba? Either kasama ka, you are complicit, and probably that's what most people are thinking, even the legislators who are involved, or kasama ka sa mga naloko. Naloko ka. And indeed, you feel very bad, as many of us feel bad, that so much money was lost to corruption. Doon sa report po ng COA, 6 billion yung nawala. No? We're undergoing the budget season now. Ang DOT budget is about 2.4 billion. Ang DTI budget is about 3.1 billion. Pag i-add nyo ho yun, mas maliit pa rin yun doon sa perang nawala o sa perang irregular. Two large agencies' budgets, 2.4 and 3.1, that's 5.5 billion, is still less than the amount identified by COA, which is now irregular or illegal. Right, ma'am, no? So, ganun ho kalaking pera yung nawala sa atin. Ang pakiramdam rin ho ba ninyo, kasi I'm not getting that from you right now eh. Ang pakiramdam ho rin ba ninyo ay naloko that this should be stopped, and in fact, under your watch, naloko rin kayo ng mga peking NGO. Yan ho ba yung pakiramdam ninyo, ASEC Salapop and Mr. Javellana?
Sir, yes. Naloko po.
Mr. Javellana?
Direksyon.
Yes, sir. Bill, naloko rin kami, sir.
Naloko na. Okay. Miss Mendoza, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Please read your list, your matrix.
For the Social Development Foundation, Congressman Conrado Estrella III. Congressman Erwin Chongbian, Congressman Rodolfo Plaza, Congressman Victor Ortega, Congressman Samuel Dangwa of the Lone District of Benguet, Congressman Valdez, Edgardo Valdez, Congressman Mark Douglas Cagas, Congressman Rodolfo Plaza. Did I mention Congressman Erwin Chongbian a while ago?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Senator Chingoy Estrada, Congresswoman Rizalina Lanete, Congressman Arthur Pingoy Jr. of the 2nd District of South Cotabato, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile, that's for the social development.
Okay, that's for the SDPFFI NGO. Go ahead, please.
For the Masaganang Ani para sa Magsasaka Foundation, I have here Senator Ramon Bong Revilla, Senator Chingoy Estrada, Congresswoman Rizalina Lanete, Congressman Rodolfo Valencia, Senator Juan Ponce Enrile, that's all. And
Okay,
for the People's Organization,
POPDFI, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I only have one for Senator Enrile. That's all, sir.
Just Senator Enrile. Okay. Ma'am, in the course of your dealing with Ben Lui and dealing with these 3 NGOs and these projects, did any legislators show up or talk to you?
None so far.
Did any of the representatives of the legislators show up or talk to you?
No, sir.
Okay. In the course of your conversations with Ben Lui, what do you recall? What he told you of your own personal knowledge?
Well, for one, because we are, we comply with the COA circular, the documentary requirements. So I used to ask from him the compliance to that COA circular or the documentary requirements. That includes the SEC or the CDA if it happens to, if it's not a cooperative,
Yes.
that's why I'm asking for the SEC then. The certified true copy of the articles of incorporation and bylaws, the 3 years financial statements, the disclosure statements that none of its incorporators are with the government or connected with any other government offices. Their track records that they have implemented the same projects with other agencies like the TRC, NLDC, ZRECT, did I mention TRC? Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
So
So
that's one
yun,
of
pero, so those are just regular,
yes, sir.
but nothing unusual.
Nothing.
Mga pinag-usapan nyo. And did you notice anything in the course of these 3 years na kaduda-duda, o may kutob ka, may
Wala
nakita
naman.
ka?
None, sir. Kasi they are complying naman so far. And whenever they liquidate, they have this external auditor's report that fair and true naman yung nire-report nila as part of the liquidation, sir.
Yung external auditor po, yun yung pirmado ng CPA, no? Private.
Nila. Yes, sir.
Pero sino pumipili ng CPA?
They are the ones because
It's
it
their
is
CPA.
their and, yeah.
I see. So, that's about it, no? Just the CPA is the one that certifies.
Yes, sir. And also certified correct by the legislators themselves.
Certified correct by the legislators.
Because they have the list of beneficiaries that they have, the legislators affix their signature in the list of the beneficiaries.
Sandali, Ma'am Rodora. You mean they submit a list of beneficiaries and the legislator signs that list of beneficiaries, yes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's part
And
of
so
the...
all these people that you mentioned, these legislators that you mentioned, have liquidation reports and they sign it.
Yes, sir. It's attached to the liquidation report submitted by the NGOs po.
Okay, this is for with regards to NABCOR, no?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Baniged, please submit all documents. Again, I'd like to reiterate, no, that the directive is to comply with all the 82 NGOs listed in the COA Special Audit Report. No? Not just these 8 anymore, or these 3, but all 82. So, in the next meeting, Mr. Baniged, maybe you can present this this list of beneficiaries that have been signed by the legislators.
Yes, Your Honor.
In particular, we'd like to see that. That's very interesting because it's signed by the legislators and the beneficiaries are stated there. Verbal response, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Will do.
Senate President.
Just to clarify, you're saying each tranche was liquidated, was signed by the legislator?
Yes, sir. There is this certificate of acceptance.
So if there were 4 tranches, the legislator signed 4 times?
Yeah.
The legislator signed 4 times.
Yeah, that's what I can remember.
Yes, okay.
Excuse me.
Senate
Are you sure it
President.
was the legislator and not the legislator's representative?
Sir, I am... Well, yeah, but there are...
Ano, what do
few-
you mean by well, yeah?
Sorry, sir.
Go ahead.
I'm a bit nervous.
Sorry.
Most of the legislators, they sign themselves. But for the few legislators, they have assigned somebody from their office.
Okay. And you're familiar with the signature of these legislators? Kasi hindi naman sila pupunta sa opisina ninyo, di ba?
It is consistently signed. They have the same signature in all the documents.
Okay. Thank you.